One of the most important topics you need to handle and you need to perfectly understand in order not to mistake things while you apply for Studienkollegs is the document preparation. How can you prepare your documents and how should you do that? What are the differences between different types of documents? In this lecture, I talk about original documents, true copies versus simple copies, these three types of documents. I touch upon the topic of official translation, which is done by oathed translators in German called vereidigte Übersetzer. And I will go and talk about official duplication. If you want to have many documents of same sort, how can you do that? That is called beglaubigte Kopie. Let's clarify the difference between official versus non-official document types. Official documents are issued by organizations. That means, for example, your study certificates, your study transcripts, your passport. This is a document which you have not issued, but officials have issued it, authorities have issued it, right? Non-official documents, by contrast, are those which are actually issued by yourself or someone else. For example, CV, motivation letter, recommendation letter, application form that you fill in, right? These are non-official documents. Now, when we talk about official documents, the original document comes into mind now, and we learn in this lecture how to handle those documents. For non-official documents, usually you just print out that document and put a signature down there, and that's it. And yes, in Germany, it is common to put a signature under CV and motivation letter even. In the United States or UK, it's not common, but in Germany it is, because you guarantee you as a person, as the issuer, that the information in that document is correct. But you don't have to do that usually. Application form is something different. For application forms, you usually have to do the signature, but for the rest, not. And it can just be printed and stuff. But for these documents, the official ones, printing them, copying them is usually not enough. Let's take a look at how it works. So for official documents, what are those official documents that we talk about? Usually you have your high school certificate. It's in German it's called Urkunde, Sekundarschulurkunde. You have your high school transcripts, Notenübersicht, sometimes in German, right? Or Zeugnis. And basically a list of all the courses that you have taken and their grading, right? And then you have sometimes some other official documents, for example, university entrance exam. From some countries it's needed, right, for the HZB check. Or for example, your passport needs to be the official passport or issued by the authorities in your country. Or some countries have other documents. For example, applicants from China, Mongolia, and Vietnam need some document called APS. These are also official documents usually that we're talking about. So authorities issue those ones. And also the language certificate, for example, a Goethe certificate or TELC or ÖSD or TestDaf, IELTS, TOEFL for English programs. These are official language certificates. And if you have some of these official documents and you need to provide them for your application, which is, there is no if, of course you need to provide them, then you need to understand how and where to send them and in which form. Let's take a look at the official translation first. If your documents are not in English or German, you usually need to translate them. There are some Studienkollegs here and there who accept, I don't know, like French or that's it. Usually I have seen sometimes that they accept French documents. But you generally, for majority of Studienkollegs and universities, need to have your documents in English or German. Now, if your documents are in other languages, rather than English and German, I recommend you to proceed and translate them into German. You can do it to English too, but German is the safe option because, for example, German embassy sometimes asks for only German documents and not English, like the translations have to be into German. So you are on a safer side if you translate your documents rather to German. If the original documents are in English, you are all good, right? Don't translate them unless proven necessary. Now, if you want to find a translator in your home country or in Germany, what you do is you just go to Google, you type vereidigte Übersetzer, and then space or plus, Diplo, space or plus, name of your country, let's say Tunisia or China or Istanbul or Bogota or right? The capital where the German embassies. This Diplo is always at the URL of the German embassies. Whenever you put it into Google, you land into German embassy's webpage, right? That's a shortcut. That's a good one, actually. So you usually end up with a list of translators who are accredited and accepted by the German embassy in your home country. This is very helpful. You can quickly find a bunch of translators who are oathed, who are vereidigt by Germany, so their stamp is accepted by the German authorities, right? If you did not find such a list, first of all, write in the Q&A section of this lecture, and I will also try to find the link for you and other students as well, and you can share your information with each other, obviously. But also what you can do is to go to the embassy's website, contact them and say, hi, my name is this and that. I would like to apply for studying in Germany. I'm looking for a vereidigte Übersetzer in this and that city, this and that country, wherever that, I mean, you're writing to the German embassy in your country, obviously, right? Or German consulate in your country. So that means that they receive this request and they will provide you with that list. There is usually such a list. So you will find the answer to that for sure. Otherwise, Q&A section of this lecture. Now, one possibility is that you do one official translation only of each of those official documents that we talked about, one official translation, and then go for official duplication of that one translation that you got. This is usually the case when the official translation is very expensive. So you say, oh my God, I have to spend X euros on official translation for each set of document, and if I want to get many duplicates of one translation, it's going to be so costly that I don't want to ask the translator to give me, I don't know, 5 translations of my high school certificate and 5 translations of my transcript. So you go for one, and then you do the official duplication. Next slide, and I will talk about official duplication in the next slide. Method 2 is that you get as many official translations as you need. How many you need comes in a few minutes. But in that case, you will go for probably 3, 4, 5 translations of same document again and again. And it's usually costly. Depends on your country, the methods, on the translator. Some translators say, no, actually, when I do the translation, then just printing and stamping is not that much of a cost. So it will be very tiny if you get more and more of the copies from me. So, yeah, okay, go and do that. That's all good. In some countries, they say, no. If you want more than one translation, it still costs, I don't know, 60, 70% of the original price of the first one. And then you'll be like, oh my God, this is going to cost a lot. So rather get one official translation and then go for duplication of it. Duplication meaning copying it, official copying of a document. Let's see how that works. Let's say you have a certificate of completion of your high school. It's an official document. You want to have it copied, but not only you yourself copying it, but an official entity copying it. That is usually done by the German embassy. Here, method 1, German embassy usually does it free of charge for students. This is actually an actual photo of the documents of a student I got. What German embassy does is puts all these papers on top of each other. Then the very corner of it, it's sort of folded and a stamp is put, German embassy stamp is put on top of it, saying like, okay, I guarantee that all these copies are one-to-one the same as the original one. Now, in this document, there are a bunch of translations, right? All copied. That is how you can duplicate. You can ask German embassy to give you like 5 sets of your whole documents officially copied. That is called true copy, so to speak. Method number 2 is to go to notary, or if you have apostille in your country, you can go to apostille, right? If you don't know what apostille is, you can ignore that. If you know what it is, then you know what I'm talking about. Or notaries sometimes do that. Notaries in Germany are all accepted. Notaries in your country, I don't know. We cannot say in each and every country that notaries are accepted in Germany. The most secure way is German embassy for sure. German embassies doing the official duplication, meaning beglaubigte Kopie, right? That's the terminology that they know and understand, and also on their website, beglaubigte Kopie. That is accepted, and as said, usually free of charge for students. So you can prove that you want to study in Germany by showing some correspondence with German universities or some applications you have done, or even verbally saying I want to apply, they will give you this service usually for free. You should ask them, right? Some countries not. We have seen that some German embassies say no, we don't offer that for free. You have to pay for that, but usually it's free of charge. Notaries in Germany ask for around 11 euros, 11 and some cents, 11 plus few cents per document. So if one document of yours is 4 pages, all together bundled up in one document, that costs 11 euros. So the number of pages doesn't matter. The number of documents matters, right? That said, these are the possibilities that you have. Now let's talk about how many of these documents you need. But before that, let me talk about non-official documents too. The non-official documents, as mentioned, are like CV, a copy of your passport, etc. For example, some universities say the copy of passport has to be official. That means that you need to bring your passport and a copy of the first page to the German embassy so that they compare it with each other and put that stamp that I showed in previous slide to you, right? Put that stamp on it and say, yes, this copy of passport is actually like the original one. But majority of Studienkollegs do not even need a pass copy at all, and those who needed just a normal, like einfache copy. Here is the thing that I have written, einfache copy, just simple copy of that. That means you can copy it yourself and put it in an envelope and good is. And it's all good. Or actually, whenever you are supposed to give an einfache copy to some organization, you can also upload that document, send it per email. All of them are the same. The idea is that original documents and authenticated documents should not be forged, should not be manipulated. And anything which is asked in the form of a simple copy, well, you can just upload it or send it per email or put it or just print it, whatever it is. Sometimes you have reine Online-Bewerbung, and you see that in UniAssist, especially in Corona times, a lot of applications became reine Online-Bewerbung, only online. You don't need to send documents per envelope. And in that case, you don't need to have certified copies because, I mean, what's the whole deal? If you scan things, then they are not certified. They are not official anymore. But if they accept it, bingo, then perfect. Why not? You can provide them with reine Online-Bewerbung, with scans of documents, and they proceed. This is really case by case different. What I suggest to you is to have a couple of sets of your documents perfectly certified so that you have them in your hand. And even if you scan documents, it's the scan of those perfectly certified ones so that you are sure that you're on the safe side. And I usually recommend to do it through the German embassy if you're living outside Germany, and through notary if you are living in Germany. There is a hint here for you. Sometimes a printed, that means a scanned document, or application form, needs a signature. So it's actually, you need to understand that just sending a document which has a signature down there, but this document is uploaded into the system or printed with a color print or whatsoever is not enough. Sometimes UniAssist and admission offices really want to see that signature is done with a pen, really with a pen. They actually put a finger in the watery thing next to them, the evaluators, and run their wet finger on that signature to make sure that the ink of the signature actually sort of gets distributed per this watery, wet finger of theirs, so to speak. So that's important to understand the difference between simple copies and official documents and not to mix them up. So that when you apply, and when we mentioned in the tutorials of each Studienkolleg, you know what to provide. All right, now how many of these documents, how many sets of documents do you need? The good thing about UniAssist is that you only need one set of documents. So if you give an official translation of your high school leaving certificate and its transcripts to UniAssist and apply for 5 Studienkollegs through UniAssist, that one set of document is enough because there is one evaluator sitting there and going through all your applications with the documents that you have already provided to UniAssist. So you don't need to send 5 times your transcript to UniAssist because you want to apply for 5 Studienkollegs. No, actually 1 is enough. That's probably the only thing which is super nice about applying through UniAssist. The rest is actually a hassle. But this is something which is nice. If you want to apply for other universities which are non-UniAssist members, so their application does not run through UniAssist, then they usually also ask for one extra set each, so to speak. So let's say if you want to apply for 3 universities through UniAssist, then you need one set for them. Then you want to apply for 2 more universities or Studienkollegs which are not governed through UniAssist, then you need 2 for those, like one set each. So we had 1 here, 2 here. And then for your visa application, if you're non-EU, you need to apply for visa. And there you also need a perfect set of your documents, a combination of your official documents and simple copies of your non-official documents. This is how you can calculate how many sets of perfect documents you need. I would say go for having 5 sets in your hands usually, so that you have enough documents to send here and there and don't get stuck with not having documents. This is rather complex. If you have questions, ask in the Q&A section. I hope I've managed to clarify this point to you. It's in Germany, paperwork is rather a complex matter by itself. See you in the next lecture, guys.